Lo vamos a hacer en los próximos minutos de la mano de Juhamatti Pukka, Head of Fixed Income in Evli Funds Management. Thank you so much for being in Negocios. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Why is the short-term corporate debt attractive nowadays?
Well, inverted yield curve is making the short-term fixed income very attractive, and especially, I mean, when you're invested in corporate bonds on top of the inverted yield curve, you are getting also the spread. Now, spreads are trading at above 2018 late levels, which was, by the way, I mean, the last moment when the ECB stopped the QE program. So now you are getting the elevated spreads and also the inverted yield curve, which makes the short-term corporate bond market very attractive at the moment. It's good to keep in mind that the credit fundamentals are much better than back in 2018 or even before the pandemic in 2020. So good fundamentals, very attractive spreads, and also the inverted yield curve that is making the base yield curve very attractive.
Grade or high yield? What is better? Which one is better?
Well, investment grade is very attractive at the moment if you're looking at the triple Ps. I mean, they are trading, from the historical perspective, they are trading very wide, actually very close to the top quartile for the last 24 years history. So with the investment grade, you are getting a lot of compensation for the credit risk that you are taking. On the other hand, same is not true for the single Ps. For example, in the deeply high yield side, those are trading closer to the bottom quartile when it comes to yield spreads. So definitely you are not getting the same level of compensation than with the investment grade. Now, I wouldn't really go into discussion about investment grade or high yield, because I mean, if you are able to operate in the crossover segment, you are making very good sort of like a credit fundamentals, stable credit fundamentals, but at the same time you are getting the spreads that are much wider than the investment grade, but you are operating in the healthier side of high yield. So I would say that investors should be sort of like a cherry picking the best ideas from both investment grade and also high yield.
We are seeing some crisis environment in China for the Evergrande problems. So if we are in a similar situation in Europe, do you see some risk in corporate default here?
Yeah, well, I mean, heading into sort of a recession, it's natural that there's going to be some defaults, but the companies are very healthy at the moment. I mean, if you're just looking at the credit fundamentals, they are in a very good shape if there's going to be a recession in following quarters. Now, most of the companies, they are defaulting because they are not able to refinance. Good thing is that the companies are not in trouble with sort of like a maturity walls. So there's no sort of like a refinancing risk at the moment that you typically see in this time of the credit cycle. So I would say that there's going to be some recessions defaults, but it's going to be the companies that would have been in the trouble anyways. And the default rates are not expected to rise dramatically. It's going to be from the historically low levels that we are currently experiencing to maybe 2 to 4%. So it's from historical perspective, we are talking about very low default rates.
Juhamatti Pukka, Evli Fund Management, thank you so much for being in Negocios Televisión.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bueno, contexto en el que, como nos decía el analista de mercados,